Well, we had a real gnarly rainstorm last night. Well, this morning actually. So I wanted to come out here and see what's what with the prop. So this is where the electrical line comes up along this left side over here. Creek's down there. It runs up here. And apparently the rain decided to use my electrical conduit ditch as its new source. Instead of this huge ravine over here that it's been running down forever, it ran down this, which is cool because it's not a big deal. Just exposed my conduit right there. That's supposed to hold enough electricity to power an entire subdivision, fully exposed. So I gotta re-dig this to cross there, so that way it keeps using the ditch it used to use. Stand by, I guess. Alrighty, today we're working on the slab. So what we're doing, came out here yesterday and had to add a bunch of dirt down there to that corner. It was down, I don't know, probably about 18 inches low from where it needed to be. So had to grab dirt from any and every possible place. Bunch over here, bunch down there, which I'm gonna have to fix that because I accidentally created a low spot there, so that's where all the water's gonna run to and sit forever and create a marsh. Bunch of dirt from over there. Anyways, that was to build up this corner here. So now that the whole pad is level, what I gotta do is spray lines for where these concrete runners are gonna go. So they came off the corner here about a foot off. They're gonna come off this line about a foot, and they're gonna run the length of the pad here every 8 feet. So I marked it off with the string and came and measured every 8 feet where it's gonna be. So that's how far off the runner is gonna come from the edge of where the house will be. And then I'm out here by myself today, so I'm running a stake in the ground, grabbing the string, running the string across to the other side, grabbing the paint gun, and running the paint on the ground. So once all these lines are painted, I'm gonna have to grab the backhoe, come and dig these out. It's supposed to be 18 inches deep, and I'm gonna do it 2 feet wide. It's supposed to be 18 inches wide, but doing it 2 feet wide just to make ultra sure since we built this pad up a bit. I've got these here rebar chairs. Set the rebar on it, set it in the ground, it holds it up off the ground, so that way when you pour the concrete, it stays up off the ground instead of just sitting on the ground. Got these here rebar ties. And the way that these things work is I've got a little spoolie deal thing over here. This is my temporary work truck since I sold my truck and all the money is going into the water line. So this is for tying the rebar ties together. You essentially, these things have a loop on either side. Can't really see it too well. Oh, there we go. You can see there's loops at that end and that end. Run it up underneath, bend it together to where the loops are touching. Grab this little spoolie dealy, start spinning it around, and it'll tie it up. So that's what we're doing today. Definitely gonna need some luck. All right, we finished the first runner. Got her 12 inches deep. Did it 2 feet wide instead of the 18 inches that they suggested. We got a 2-foot bucket. So just wanted to make sure she's good. Plane's flying over top. So there's the first one done. 1 down, 9 to go. Eldon's here to save the day, driving the old grandpappy dump truck. We gotta get the dirt from the middle of this here pad outside of there. So the dump truck. So now we're on the 3rd footer over. And the problem is the backhoe doesn't reach to dump the dirt anywhere. Obviously I can't put it in between the runners, so we had to bring the dump truck over here. Now, here's the issue, okay? So we've got the bucket filled with dirt. It's curled all the way up. We bring this girl up, and now the dirt's starting to fall out already. But watch, it gets even better. It's not high enough to get into the dump truck, right? So we gotta go up. Oh, here comes the dirt falling out. Sweet. Let's go a little higher. Now we won't hit the dump truck, so let's bring her over. Barely miss it by a couple inches. Now, gotta dump it out into the bed. Rinse and repeat like 37 times. Oh, never driven a dump truck before in my life. Here goes. This thing's older than dirt. Oh, gotta get her into neutral. Turn off the air brakes. There's the weird stuff. So, good luck. Whew. Good news is, didn't ruin anything. So, apparently the way these dump trucks work is you can see there's 10 gears. You go first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Then you flip this lever to high, which here's the stick shift. Here's a lever between high and low. Then you go back from 5th over to 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10. Not a big deal, 10 speed, whatever, no big deal. What is the bigger deal is this. This is how apparently you dump it. So it's got this PTO, power takeoff is what that stands for. You've got to shift this in to engage it. This has to be in neutral so that way you're not grinding gears. Pull this bad boy over to up, gets her going up, and you basically run this just like the transmission. Let the clutch out. Alright, so for today's episode of Let's Watch This City Boy Screw Everything Up out in the country sticks, I'm supposed to be digging these footers here for the mobile home to go on. Supposed to do them 8 foot on center, all the way down. Supposed to be 10 of them coming along. Had a meltdown the other day because basically the pad wasn't level originally, so these were running up into the hill. So if it's 12 inches deep up there like it's supposed to be, and it's level concrete down here, it's only going to be like 6 inches deep because there was like a 6-inch difference across there. So had to, and then it got even worse coming from this side down to the long end down there. It was another drop of like 10 inches. So going from this corner over here to this corner back here by the dozer was like an 18-inch drop. So that was awesome. In my defense, I was told it's good to have a slope to let the water run from underneath the trailer. Doesn't make sense when your concrete's sloped. So now that that's out of the way, I'm digging these here runners. I got that one more left right here, and we're done. I noticed when I was cleaning out this runner here, the gap between these two and those two is not symmetrical. Why, you might ask? Because I dug this one in the wrong freaking spot. Supposed to be, so the first one is 2 feet off over there in the middle, which if you add 8, that would mean 10 feet on center. There's 10 feet. That is not the freaking center. You dumb city boy. What the heck are you even doing? Here we go. Oh, the babers and the babies are here to play. Crisis averted. Luckily I'm digging these things 24 inches wide instead of 18 like they asked. So still technically it's centered. So now we come down here to the end and do the rebar. So the way this rebar works, you gotta have 2 sticks, 1/2 inches, running all the way down. We've got this little tool that I showed earlier, and these to run it together. Had to cut and put the rebar together because they're only 20-foot sticks. That's about 25 feet long in between there. So that's how we're doing it. Got to do it 10 more times.